Welcome everybody. I see some other people are coming in. We had, I think, 90 registrations. So I'm glad today to introduce the webinar. The title of the webinar is the environmental and social impacts of tourism, trends, initiatives, and certifications. And I am founder and director of the organization and the foundation. And with me is Nina Dittrich, directly from Austria, founder and director, Nice Dive and Trips.
Thanks for the invitation, Paolo.
It's a pleasure.
Nice to make the webinar with you together.
Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us. And also Mario Passoni, Dr. Mario Passoni, who is the head of conservation projects at the World Sustainability Foundation.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, so unanswered questions will be answered via email after the webinar. At the end of the webinar, the system and our marketing will distribute certificates of participation to those who attended until the end of the session. A recording and the PowerPoints will be sent via email link, and they will also be available free of charge, because the webinar is free of charge, at a specific link that you see here below. So just a short intro to who we are, where we come from, what we do. We are the World Sustainability Organization, now also, as I will explain, a foundation, which has developed a number of standards for certification of sustainable products and services. And these groups of standards are represented by these two logos, trademarks, registered trademarks, Friend of the Sea and Friend of the Earth. There's over 1,500 companies in more than 80 or 100 countries nowadays that have products certified with the Friend of the Sea or Friend of the Earth logo. And here you see the spread in terms of the geographical location of the countries where companies with Friend of the Sea or Friend of the Earth certified products or services are located. As far as the foundation, it was started a year ago. And as you can see, it develops and manages or selects and supports conservation projects in over 40 countries under the Friend of the Sea and Friend of the Earth logo. Under the Friend of the Sea logo, the projects are focused on protection of endangered aquatic species and habitats. You can see some of them here, and of course on the website you'll find much more information. And here are the location of the projects. This year we expect to be able to support other 15 to 20 projects in different countries, additional countries. And these are the Friend of the Earth projects that are supported by the foundation in the different countries. Without further ado, I will jump into the subject of today's webinar. It's tourism and its potential impact, sustainable tourism. International tourism has experienced in the past 20 years the fastest growth ever, with a threefold increase in number of arrivals. Consequently, other tourist sectors have increased, such as the cruise market, which has grown sixfold in the same period. The COVID-19 months have seen a sharp downfall of up to 80%, which was then recovered fully in the next couple of years, as you can see from this more updated graph, with a projected annual growth rate of 3.47%. The largest market within travel and tourism is the hotels market. As you can see, it's the yellow line. And online sales are expected to account, imagine, up to over 70% of the total revenue in travel and tourism market by 2028. And it is worth noting that the United States is expected to generate the most revenue in this market, reaching $199 billion in the $500 billion that you can see on the gray line. So big market share. Tourism can generate some very important and positive impacts on society and the environment, including employment, growth of developing countries, cultural exchange and peace, as well as cultural and environmental heritage conservation. It can also have, however, detrimental impacts on the environment and communities if it is not developed in a sustainable way. And over-tourism is only the most visible form of unsustainable tourism. Here you see some colorful examples. In extreme cases, leading to fatalities or anyway preventing tourists from actually appreciating the beauty of the visited locations because of overcrowding. Coastal tourism is one of the most popular worldwide, as 12 out of the 15 top destinations in the world are countries with coastlines. Surely, coastal tourism has various direct and indirect potential impacts on the environment. And these are described, as an example, in a very effective way by this infographic from the Ohio University. Some of their direct impacts are a consequence of physical reef damages from snorkeling, scuba diving, and motorboats, overfishing from sport fishing and collection. Some of the potential indirect impacts originate from seafood consumption, for example, hotel resorts development, construction of artificial beaches, cruise ships, golf courses, water footprint. So there is a clear need, therefore, for the implementation and promotion of sustainable tourism practices. Sustainable tourism is a tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social, and environmental impacts, trying to minimize them, addressing the needs of visitors, the industry, environment, and host communities. The global sustainable tourism market was valued at 3.3 trillion in 2022, and it is projected to reach $11.4 trillion by 2032, with a growth of 14%. That's the important number from 2023 to 2032 in this last decade, basically, or in this forthcoming decade. A yearly growth of 14%. That's quite a lot. And coastal tourism was the most popular type of sustainable tourism in 2022, and island tourism is expected to gain massive popularity too in the future. And family sustainable tourism was the most popular in 2022, and solo tourism is expected to gain even more popularity. In order to motivate companies worldwide involved in tourism to tackle those potential issues and to promote those operators which comply with strict sustainability standards, Friend of the Sea standard setting program has developed, launched, and it is applying new standards from the main focus that has been so far the food certification, nutritional products, nutraceutical products, and so on. So we moved in recent years into also certifying sustainable tourism operators. Mario will go more in depth on all these standards and the state of development of the related projects.
Thanks to the Paolo speech, we found out that tourism is very important for our environment and for all of us, because are involved millions of persons. So thanks to our experience, we have created a certain number of certification standards related to sustainable tourism. Among the years, we have certified more than 30 companies around the world for different certification standards. So I would like to, first of all, let you know what in general we request in our standard. Basically, the key points are, for example, talking about excursion by boat, to do not use a single-use plastic, to do not have it on board, because it can be thrown on the water and can be a significant source of pollution. While you are in the water, for example, while you are scuba diving, snorkeling, and whatever, do not touch animals, because this can be a real source of stress for the animal, and you can also give disease, and you can also reduce the time of interaction with them. Then it's very important to know how approach animals in the wild, and for example in the water. For example, sea turtles, whale sharks, manta rays. There are good ways to approach them in order to do not scare and stress these animals. Don't take anything away. What does it mean? For example, you are snorkeling in the Maldives and suddenly you see a very beautiful shell. It is forbidden to take this shell and bring it home. Sounds strange to be said, but it happens, and it happened a lot in the past. Then we consider the waste and energy management of tourism operators, their social accountability. Also, this topic is very important when we talk about sustainability, the animal welfare in general, and to support the conservation projects. So all these requirements are, first of all, an instrument for all the tourists to know how to behave while traveling. And then is a code of conduct for the tourism operators. That the tourism operators, to get our certification, must undergo against an audit, so an assessment of their activities, and they have to show that they respect all our requirements of sustainability. So I would like now to let you see our main sustainable tourism standards. The first one is about beach. Basically, we assess that tourism is sustainable in private and public beaches, and the owner of the beach has to show compliance to our requirement. Then there is a standard about tourism facilities, so for resorts, hotel, lodge, campsite, and so on. Then we have another one about snorkeling. For example, we have an operator certified in the south of Italy, in Lampedusa, the marine protected area of Lampedusa and Linosa, and they invite all their participants in to not touch anything underwater, feed the animals, and so on. Then another important topic is scuba diving. I'm a scuba diver. I've been diving hundreds of times, and I know that it's very easy to be not sustainable underwater. So we created these requirements in order to respect what we see and we visit, because basically, for example, into the water, we are guests. It's not our house. So we need to follow a code of conduct to respect all the inhabitants of the reefs and so on. Then there is a standard about dolphin and whale watching. This has been the very first standard about sustainable tourism, born in 2015. So it's very well developed, and we have operators even in New Zealand certified with us. Then there is a standard about whale shark watching. We created this because in the last, I would say 15 years, the number of interactions with whale sharks has increased vertically a lot. So a lot of people can swim with whale sharks. You don't have to be a scuba diver. You can go just snorkeling, because most of the time the interactions are on the top of the surface, maximum 5 meters depth, and it's quite easy to swim with whale sharks once you spot them, because they are slow and they are calm, and usually they do not swim away unless you don't you touch them, you use the flash of your camera on close to their eyes and so on. So our code of conduct, our standard of certification is an additional instrument to improve the interaction with them from both sides. Same for sea turtles. It's not about only about encounters into the water while snorkeling or scuba diving, but it's also related to the nesting and hatching phase of the sea turtles. So both are very important phases of the life of the sea turtles, and we have to be respectful to them and follow a certain kind of conduct with them. For example, just a suggestion, and is what we require in our standard, if you see a female sea turtle coming back on the beach and lay their eggs, its eggs, do not point the flash or the glassy light on their eyes. You have to use a red light because they cannot feel the red light, and in this way you can see them while nesting without stressing too much these animals. And then we have a standard about the manta rays. As for whale sharks, it's become quite common to swim and interact with this giant gentle. And another standard is about sunscreen cream. In the last years, scientific studies demonstrated that some chemicals inside this sunscreen can damage the reefs, and not only. Also fish, sea urchins, and other inhabitants of the sea. So with our label and with our standard of certification, we want to recommend and certify the sunscreen that are not using a certain kind of chemicals that can be bad for the environment. And then related to tourism activities, last November we created a brand new project that is called One Guest, One Tree Planted. In a few words, how does it work? This project is for tourism facilities such as hotel, resorts, B&B, and so on. And our proposal is to plant a tree for each of their guests. So we have several reforestation projects around the world in collaboration with local partners, such as in Central Africa and in Indonesia. And our target is to reforest, and to remunerate and involve the local communities that are fundamental in projects of habitat restoration. And this is a way to involve both tourism facilities and guests. In this way, the tourism facilities can show to their guests that they are doing something concrete for the environment and to protect the biodiversity. And then another important project has started, very, very, very important. So is our plastic offset program. How does it work? Basically, we collaborate with another company, and we can get from nature, from the environment, for example, from at the sea, a certain amount of plastic that is used by the companies. A practical example, you have a company and every year you consume 1 ton of plastic. To adhere to our project, we can get from nature 1 ton of plastic and recycle or reuse in an appropriate way and save from the environment. And in this way, you can get our certification. Okay, and here you can see the different logo that we have for the different project we developed among the years. And here is an example of marketing and communication content that we provide our certified companies with. For example, this is a brochure that has been created for companies certified for the project Dolphin and Whale Watching, and they can show it to their customer. In addition, we invite all the guests to get on our website, to visit our website, to contact us and to give a feedback on the operation carried out by the operator. So if you are a tourist, you can be our observer on board. And finally, a few months ago, we created a brand new certification standard about travel agency. This is the very first step toward sustainability for travel agency in order to reduce the impact tourism can have on our environment. And the very first company that has been certified with us is Nice Dive and Trips. So now I would like to give a word to Nina. Nina can explain you better what she does, what Nice Dive and Trip is, and so on. Nina, can you hear me? Can you?
Yes, thanks a lot, Mario. Thanks for sharing the presentation for me.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So hello, everybody again. Yeah, my name is Nina from Nice Dive and Trips. Yes, as Mario told you, we have the certification for sustainability travel agency. But first of all, I want to tell you what I'm doing. So we are specialized in diving trips, in trips without mass tourism. So it's not only diving, it's also trips the people want to have, like special things included and some different views also with the sustainability. So, but for diving, yes, I dive since I was very, very young. And I also studied the tourism management, and I have a Master of Arts degree in international tourism. So it's very close to my hobby and to my work. So it matches very good. And since last year, we are certified from Paolo and Mario, and very, very happy about it. And Mario, you can go please on the next slide. What we like to do, we do not want to make trips only for the people to make them happy. Yes, of course, if you want to do some holiday, it should be something where you can create memories and have a good time. But if we only take care of this, that's not enough. I worked 3 years in Egypt, so as a dive instructor, and I saw a lot of mass tourism, and it was very, very sad to see how the people act with the environment, with the fish, how many boats are there. And so our company decided that we want to make a change, so that when we offer some holidays or making some group trips, there should be also a way to protect animals and the plants, because it's not only us who wants to see the special places, also the people after us, so maybe the next generation. And so we really take care also with the activities during our group trips or the holidays from the customer to say, okay, what makes the difference? And for example, we will never offer like the SeaWorld thing activities where you can see the orca in a 20-meter swimming pool. So that's not our focus. We want to focus on the environment and want to say we are happy that we can go into the water. As Mario said, we are guests and we have to take care of them, and it's not our own. So yeah, not only unforgettable experiences, also make something good for our world. And so Mario wrote me last year an email if I want to work together with him or with the World Sustainability Foundation and to make something special. So yeah, that's also discover, protect, and joy. It's our motto. So I think I would not say something more because yeah, discover the world, protect the world, and of course enjoy. Thanks a lot, Mario. Yeah, I already said something about that. So trips. Mario came to me and said, Nina, do you want to work with us together, make some special trips? Also where we can protect and also take care of the environment together with some special places. And I said, yes, of course we can do it. And so last year we made our first trip to Madagascar, and it was a very, very special trip. And we also had the project there with the lemurs to save them, and Mario made some biology lessons during our stay in Madagascar. And that's also a when we do some group trips, we want to give the people some information about animals who live in Madagascar, for example, or later we will come to Kenya, that get some knowledge about the country, the people, and not only staying on the beach, going into the water, make some nice dives. So really to think about, wow, it's great to be there, and wow, it's nice that we can protect something. And we decided to make some other group trips. So we already designed Kenya for this year. That's a very special group trip because Kenya and Chalet Island will be the place where Mario will be with our guests. It's a wonderful island. It's really awesome. It's a nesting place for some sea turtles. And also we decided to make some biology lessons during our trip. So Mario will do 2 lessons, and the most important thing is that we will support a local conservation project. So there is Diani Watch, and they take care of the turtles on Chalet Island on Diani Beach. So, for example, they walk every morning through the beach, looking for the turtles, looking for the nesting places, and want to save them. So that's their goal. And we said, wow, that's very cool. They do it. And so we want to give them support, including our trip. And that's not all. You know, the mangroves, they are very important for our ecosystem. So I could talk a lot of mangroves, but the special thing during that trip is that you will also have the opportunity to plant 5 mangroves. And that's also very special because you will have fun, because when you have the chance to plant a mangrove, and you will do something for our world, especially here for Kenya, for Chalet Island. So as you can see, it's not only a trip to explore the wonderful Chalet Island and the fish underwater and doing some snorkeling trips. No, it's everything together, like discover, protect, and joy. And this trip is for 10 days. Mario, can you go one slide back, please? No, other side. One more. Our trip is in September this year, and this trip is also very special. It's a really small group, so only 6 people will have the chance to join this trip, because we don't want to do any mass tourism. So we want to make the groups very small and not with 20 or 25 people, to make it exclusive. Thanks a lot, Mario. Yeah. Great. So we from Nice Dive and Trips, we want to invite you all to think about it. So for sure, a lot of will think about it, or I had already thought about it. So when you're doing some trips, or you are a tour operator, or you may be a travel agency or a scuba diving company, so what you can do for the environment, not only to sell some nice products, so just give something back to the nature. And for sure we will do it the next years, and as long as we are here and working as a travel agency, as a tour operator, together with Paolo and Mario, and we are very happy about it. And thanks a lot that we can work together on that special project. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Nina. And before we go on with question and answer, I would love to share 2 polls. The first one is which type of travel would you be most interested in? And you can choose among a classic trip, sustainable travel, natural travel to support conservation projects, or sustainable and nature-based travel to support conservation projects. Okay, and the other poll is about a group trip should have a maximum of how many people? And you can choose among 6 to 8 to 10 person, or just it doesn't matter about it. Okay, so these are the questions, the polls. So now we can have a look about the questions. So I can read the question, and then we can see who can answer among the 3 of us. Is it fine? Okay. So the first one is about, can we also start a sustainable certification similar to yours? Or how can we get linked with you to start a certification in my country, Bhutan? Of course, we can discuss about it. I hope to pronounce it well, Dori. You can write us, and we can discuss about it by email. Then, Kai, are the certifications GSTC approved? Paolo can answer. Okay.
Yes, the GSTC is a major certification which is specific for sustainable tourism, and it's also a program which allows other certifications to be assessed in order to be considered as equivalent. We are planning to apply to have the certifications, or at least some of them, be approved by GSTC or considered equivalent. At the same time, the vice versa is applicable, in the sense that if a company is GSTC approved and wishes to apply for Friend of the Sea, we still haven't done a specific equivalence assessment, but GSTC requirements are normally, as by their own statement on their website, considered as minimum requirements. So it is likely that they comply, or that they are matching with our requirements, at least in part, maybe 70-80%, and there might be some additional verification. But as companies or tourism operators will try to apply for Friend of the Earth, I'm sure, or Friend of the Sea certification for sustainable tourism, I'm sure that we can consider their GSTC certification as at least partially equivalent with our requirements.
Okay, there is a question for Nina now. Nina, I can swim, Beirut. Can I still participate in the trip to Kenya?
Yeah, for sure, because it's not only in the water, the trip. So there are a lot of possibilities on land. So walking on the beach, seeing some maybe elephants or some turtles, and also to plant the mangroves is also on land. So that's absolute no problem. If you can't swim, you can join us. There's absolutely no problem.
Excellent. I'm just replying to Dori, the one from Bhutan. Dori, I'm giving you my email. You can write me. Okay. Foundation. Okay, post. There is another question. Okay. Julie is asking, correct waste management is a massive problem for many destinations who offer sustainable tourism options. How are you dealing with that topic? I can answer. So basically, if you go on our website, Friend of the Sea or Friend of the Earth, and you go through the certification standards, you can go, for example, on the Sustainable Dolphin Whale Watching webpage, and there are publicly available the standards of certification. In the standard, you will see the section of waste management, and there are requirements that the operators must respect in order to achieve the certification. And this is assessed during the audit. So the auditor is collecting the data and reporting it. And this is our way in general to approach. Okay, vediamo. Let's see the other question. Okay, I have a question about the One Guest, One Tree Planted project. As a person not connected to hotels or travel agencies, can I still plant trees through you? Yes, of course you can. You can plant one or more than one trees with us. You can go on our dedicated webpage, Save the Forest, and or you can write us at info@worldsustainabilityfoundation.org, and we can provide you with all the information to plant the trees. Or otherwise, if you go to on the webpage Save the Forest, there is a button where is written donate. You can click there and you can select the option to donate to reforest and to plant trees. But for any doubt, you can write me. Okay, so there is another question from Cedric. Is the WSF also talking to governmental level to put more attention, pressure, top down on the sustainability topic? Because a lot of standards can only be enforced in general. An example, number of boats for shark watching. Paolo, do you want to answer? Do you want me to answer?
Well, on my side, I would say that our standards have to be applicable operator by operator and accessible by specific operators. Very often it's not the number of boats, but it's the way that they behave. And so, however, in the requirements, depending on the type of tourist operator that we are looking at, there's also space for considerations and assessment related to the way that the activity as a whole in that area is carried out. So if it's if there is a situation of let's say over tourism, then the auditor has to highlight it, and eventually this can lead to the operator not being certified or be recommended to take action to also put pressure on the governments in order to obtain the certification, in order to better manage the joint operators' activity in the area. So in other words, there is kind of a compromise to allow, on one hand, to certify those operators which apply good practices, and at the same time stimulate a continuous improvement in the sector in order to prevent situations of over tourism.
Thank you very much. And another question. Can we call a hotel travel agency is using a zero plastic policy? All of us know that this is not possible. If so, what's the most suitable term for minimizing plastic usage under sustainability? Thank you. I can start answering. Maybe, Paolo, you can add something else then. This is a good question. I mean, our project is aiming to solve a very important part of the plastic pollution problem. So what we aim to do, our goal is to reduce the plastic pollution in the environment. Okay. Of course, at the same time, hotels and other companies should reduce the consume of plastic. Of course, they should apply both way to work and go on. So for the moment, we start from this one. For sure, the impact on the environment can be impressive.
Well, specifically for hotels, there are sections of our standards requirements which tackle the issue of plastic use, and the recommendation differ, and it would be too complex to describe them here. But there are requirements related to waste management in general, because the waste problem is not only related to plastic. And the plastic offset project is there to try to offset the remaining plastic input in the environment generated by companies, not only tourist companies, but companies in general. And the system, the project allows to offset the weight of plastic that a company inputs in an uncontrolled way in the market and in the environment, for example, by means of the packaging, with the same amount, the same weight of plastic that is taken away from the environment by means of projects such as beach cleaning or similar ones. And the whole offsetting is traced in a very sophisticated way through our partner company in India. And in order to be able to prove to any third party or the consumers or the general public, other companies or institutions, that the claim of offsetting is true and verifiable and transparent.
In addition, I would like to add and to involve in this Nina, because in our certification, our standard certification about travel agency, one requirement is about the correct management of waste, plastic, pollution, energy, and so on. So Nina, to achieve the certification, has shown that is managing this properly. Nina, do you want to add maybe something about it?
Yeah, for sure, you cannot reduce anything. So there will be maybe a paper where you write something, but you should take care of it that you don't make so much waste. We all have laptops in those times and can make very easily everything there. And so also when you make some trips, for example, for the waste management, we have some gifts for our customers, like dry bags or some bottles. They can use them longer, not only for one trip. So to take them in the thinking of, I don't need to buy plastic bottles or some bags for every trip. So there you have one, it's good quality, and take it for a lot of trips. So there is a lot of possibility to take care about the waste. You will never have zero, for example, but if you think about it, and every time when you want to write something down, you can think about, do I really have to do this now? Or is it okay when I write it maybe on my laptop? So, or sending the travel, the papers to the people, the travel documents. Necessary to print them out and to send it to the customers, or in those times it's fine to send it via email. This way, for sure, it's nice to get something on your hand, but I think we have to think about if it's time to change some things.
Yeah,
it was a long time, but yeah.
Thank you very much, Nina. Thank you very much. We have the last question, and then we will see the results of the polls. Is again Cedric, and he's saying regarding the plastic problem, do you also plan to raise awareness on the consumer side about the global commercial fishing industry as one of the main drivers of plastic pollution? Paolo?
Well, our main certification focus over the years and where it all started has been Friendly Sea certification of products, in particular seafood from sustainable fisheries and aquaculture. And our standard was the first one, and it's still one of the few, if not the only one, that in its requirements does not only look at the impact of the fishing activity in terms of the impact on the fish stocks or the bycatch species or the impact on the seabed, but we also have a section related to waste management. So we were the first one, not only in fisheries, also in aquaculture, which can potentially be a major source of plastic pollution. Think about, for example, the nets used for mussels for mussels growing in certain areas, and which are then accidentally wasted in the water and are the major cause of pollution in certain areas. So we have been the first ones, and this has led some of the audited fleets to implement measures, for example, at the harbors. It comes to my mind the case of the Azores, which because of the certification had to implement a number of waste management systems at the harbor in the Azores to collect not only plastic but also many other things. And we also participate actively, collaborate actively on the Global Ghost Fishing Initiative, which has an app which allows fishermen to declare and alert when they find ghost nets in the sea. They recover them. They also get certain awards for this. So we are very much active on this as a final answer. But if you want to know more, of course, you can write to us.
Okay, thank you. The very, very last question is about, do you recognize analog foresting to increase the oxygen production by planting different trees, plants, vines together as a sustainable thing? If it exists, could you please explain it briefly for all the audience? Thank you. So I can explain you what are our reforestation project. We made a long selection among different reforestation projects around the world, and we selected the most important in terms of protection of biodiversity, creation of habitat for species, and involvement of local communities. So depending on the project, some projects are about agriculture, some projects are about essentially reforestation. That means that we are not going to plant trees randomly, like a baobab tree in Italy or whatever. We replant what was already existing there, so endemic species. And this is a fundamental approach to be successful in this kind of projects. And yeah, the results are really, really impressive. So to conclude, I just want to share the results of the polls. Let's start from the first one. in which country you had your best sustainable tourism experience. So we have a list. Someone has named Zambia, then Kenya, Italy, Ghana, Mexico, Turkey, Brazil, Guatemala and Sri Lanka, Mexico, Greece, Ghana again, and other countries, Japan, for example. More than one, Japan. Okay, let's see. The other one.
Meanwhile, I'm sharing the answers with everybody so everybody can see them. I think it's.
You can. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want me to share the screen?
No, I'm sharing them. I think anybody now can go and look at the results because I have opened them up to everybody.
Okay. Clear. So there is also the part related to the most unsustainable tourism experience, Honduras, Egypt. It would be interesting to know from the one that replied why you considered them as unsustainable. Maybe you can write us. Then about the results of the poll, which type of travel will you be most interested in? The 67% of you answered the sustainable and nature-based travel to support conservation projects. The 17% of you the nature travel to support conservation projects, and the remaining 17% the sustainable travel. And then the last one, a group trip should have a maximum of how many people? The most of you voted 8 persons. The 50%. Yes, Nina. The 27%, 10 persons. The 18%, 6 persons. And the 4% doesn't matter about the number. So yes, 8 persons looks like the most favorite. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know just one thing. Wisdom. Wisdom is asking, I want to know if a presentation will be made available to participants, please. Yes, as Paolo was saying at the beginning, will be sent by email to you a certificate of participation plus the link to the presentation and video of this webinar.
I've noticed that we had participants from very different countries, many different countries, and also it seems like they are also from different sectors and background, maybe some generically interested in the subject, others tourist operators, and others interested in maybe NGOs or other organizations like ours interested in collaborating. So we are a very open organization, and we welcome interaction and networking. So feel free after this meeting to contact us. I'm sure that you can easily reach us through the website, through the emails that have been shared today. And so that we can work together for this common mission, independently of where you come from. As you see, we operate globally, and what type of collaboration you would like to develop. So feel free to contact us. You're welcome, and let's work together. Just like we are doing with Nina, and with the great help and work carried out by Mario, which is making this project growing on a daily basis, and in particular this year grown quite a lot in intensity and activities. So with this, I thank you all for your interest. Everything will be recorded and available for you to rewatch. And thank you all for participating also so actively and interactively. And we hope that we provided you with valuable information. Of course, this is just like the tip of the iceberg. If you want more information and details, feel free to contact us. Thank you, Nina.
Thank you
again.
Thanks a lot for everybody. have all a great day, and
maybe-
thanks for joining us, and thanks for the
I
invitation.
hope to see you all in Kenya. Maybe 8x8.
just right now.
A little bit at the time. You cannot fit all,
person.
but
Just
in Kenya or one of the next trips organized by Nina or the newly certified other agencies. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
everybody.
thanks a lot. Have a
Bye-bye.
great day. Bye-bye.
Help our planet with this first step. Follow Friend of the Sea and Friend of the Earth across our social media. Like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your follow and subscription helps us spread the sustainability message to everyone. Let's build a better world together as sustainable friends.